Welcome to Her Health First Wellness Collective, where Black women come first. We're here to educate, advocate, and empower you to take charge of your health because your well-being is not optional, it's essential. On today's episode, we're talking about being 3/4 of the way done with chemo. We talk with Tamisha about how far she's come, how far she has left to go, and what she's looking forward to. Ready to join the conversation? Come on in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Her Health First Wellness. I'm Tracy, and today we're back with Tamisha. Hey, Mish. Hey, everyone. So, how are you feeling today? How many thumbs we have today?
Today's it could be a two thumbs up.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
look,
What happened? Oh,
I'm trying to do the two thumbs up with it.
well, good. I like the two thumbs up days. Glad that today's two thumbs up. So, anything that you want to share? Anything new? Look at me trying to fix my blanket. It's a little chilly in here, so I don't need my blanket. Normally
Chilling.
normally I'm situated, but forgot today. We've been a little razzle dazzle today. So, and then we've been having technical difficulties for the last couple of weeks. So, please forgive us. So, anything new that you want to share with everyone?
Oh yeah, I lost one of my nails, my middle finger, the one I had to cellulite. The nail came up
So,
today.
talk louder into the mic.
This?
Yeah. Yeah.
So today the nail, my middle finger, the one that had the cellulitis, the nail came off today.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. That's the only change thus far.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So today, what we're going to talk about is now we're more than 3/4 of the way through. Okay. So that means we are 3/4 done. Okay. We only have a quarter of treatment left, and we celebrating our counting down.
Yes, we are.
So we're gonna chat with Tamisha, ask her some questions about, just being this far into the journey versus when we started, versus being a quarter of the way, halfway, and then now we're finally beginning to see that light at the end of the tunnel. All right, you ready, Mish?
I'm ready.
All right, so let's do it. So first we're gonna talk about emotional and mental health. So we talked about how you're feeling physically. We got two thumbs up. Mentally and emotionally, any changes there?
No, it's still the same. I think the only thing would be the anxiousness towards the for the surgery and for radiation.
Right. So okay, anxiety toward the next steps. What's next? What's that gonna be like? Okay. All right. I mean, understandable. So what's been the hardest part of the journey so far for you?
Well, the hardest part in the beginning was drinking, at least 64 ounces of liquid. That was definitely hard for me.
Right.
But now I'm able to do it with no problem because I'm not used to it. And another thing probably would be the like taste buds.
Oh, yeah.
It's so all over the place. Some days I have good days, like the food will be taste fun. Then some days everything just tastes salty for no reason.
Right. And I know you stayed away from sweets.
Oh yeah, the sweets.
All kinds of sweets, sodas,
Yeah,
sweets,
no,
all
yeah.
of that you stay away from.
I don't, none of that stuff I don't eat anymore. And it's so crazy because anybody that know me know I love chocolate with a crunch. So
Right.
anything that has a crunch like M&M's, Twigs, um, any of those are my other one, Baby Ruth, Almond Joy, any of those candies, everyone knows that
Right.
I would tear those candies down.
Right.
Now they just taste funny, so I don't even eat them.
Right. And another thing you forgot about is your ice cream with the nuts, okay?
Oh yeah.
She is serious about her ice cream with the nuts. Okay.
Well, matter of fact, I did indulge in ice cream with the nuts. It actually did taste bad, but it was the vegan. It was the vegan one.
Okay.
The non-dairy one.
Okay.
And it didn't taste bad. It tastes pretty good. I don't know, maybe because it was cold.
Yeah.
And it tastes as funny as like eating the M&Ms with the peanuts and like drinking the juice. I actually did enjoy it. I did enjoy it.
All right. All right. Small wins, okay? Small wins. I love it. I love it. Okay. What is something that you've discovered about yourself that has surprised you during the entire process?
I'll probably being able to get on the mic and get on the camera because
Yeah.
before you couldn't even pay me to get on there. I'm like, oh, absolutely not. Yeah. I'm not getting on there. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am proud of you, and I definitely thank you. But hold on, y'all. I don't know if y'all don't see this part, but see, the nose hairs are very important because right now my nose is running for no reason. All right. All right. So, are there any emotions or thoughts that you haven't had space to talk about yet? Like anything that's been lingering, that kind of just sitting on your mind or on your heart to talk about? Only thing is really probably it's maybe getting back into the workforce. I do think about that a lot. That I have to tell myself, like you just have to chill. You just have to wait it out. And once everything is done and finished, then I'll be able to go back to work. Mm-hmm. But I just be counting down like, hey, if I have my surgery this month, then I still have to wait for recovery, and then recovery plus radiation for 5 weeks. Right. I'm like, by the time I get back to work, the year is going to be just about over. Right. Yeah. Yeah, because you might as well say we're in June now. Yeah. And then we still have some more treatments in June. We got imaging in June. So surgery maybe we're thinking July. And then you got recovery and then radiation for a month and a half. So yeah, that's August, September ish. But then you still have your immunotherapy after that. So until January or February of next year. So yeah, it's gonna be still not a long road, but still a while. It's still a while, but the bulk of it will be over after chemo. Thank you. Thank goodness. Okay. Ooh. So what does support look like for you at this point? Awesome, amazing, phenomenal. My support team is strong, so I'm blessed to have family, friends, the medical staff, people that I don't even know is praying for me. They have me in the prayer group. Right. And so it's just I get sent motivational like videos and songs. Mm-hmm. So that definitely help me to keep me positive and keep me going. Right. Right. Okay. Mhm. Okay, so next is tell us what has kept you going on days that you felt like giving up. Okay, it's my faith, my family, friends. I know that, this is a process that I had to go through, and there was no doubt that in my mind that I wouldn't get through it. Mm-hmm. But I just always, try to, remain positive and think positive and like just know that in order for me to get better, I have to go through this. So I think by just me keeping my mind positive and having, friends and families and loved ones and the medical, team that, helped me get through this journey that's what really keeps me going. I'm like, yeah, and we do have a really wonderful, awesome medical team. So awesome. Can't say enough good things about best ever. The medical team for sure. Is there a moment that made you feel proud of yourself lately? Probably continue to drink water. I am proud about that because before, definitely water was like, no, absolutely not. It wasn't even in my thought process, actually, to be honest. If it's not like coconut water, that would be the only water that I would drink prior to this with coconut water. But talking about bottled water, whatever type of water, absolutely not. Yeah. Like, ugh. Okay. So, has your definition of strength, what strength is, has it changed since you started chemo? I would not probably would change, but I would just say that strength is, courage. In order for you to get through this, you do have to go in. You have to come in with like an open mind and just, listen to what the doctors tell you. Do what you're supposed to do. Try to eat better. Uh, yeah, but you can only eat what you can, right? Which is, understandable. But they pretty much that's it. Yeah. Okay. I know earlier we talked about the songs that kept you going or brought you comfort. Have you discovered any new songs, rituals, quotes, affirmations, anything like that? Well, so far, no new songs have been added, but I know definitely probably when it get even more closer to the end, I'm definitely probably gonna have a few more songs added. Or right. If I see a quote, then definitely, uh, I probably would also add that. I do, talk to not talk to myself, but I do pray. I pray a lot, and then, I just ask the Lord to give me guidance and strength, to get through this. Because you have to walk in His footsteps. So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay. All right. Well, I'm to hear it. Yes, yeah. All right. What have you learned about yourself through this journey? Because I know we talked about the fact that you were able to increase your water intake. What else have you learned about yourself? I guess maybe like the resilience. Like I'm just gonna, I have, you have your good days and your bad days. Even through my bad days, I still try to, at least laugh or, watch something that's funny so that I don't start thinking about, well, what if this go wrong or what, like for instance, when I had the two setbacks. So I didn't really dwell on it. I definitely just, watch like movies that made me laugh or I would watch, the NBA, playoffs. Right. That helps me get, through the day. I listen to some music, write down things, talk and laugh with my sisters, talk to my friends and, just do things that maybe sometimes that we really take for granted. And absolutely. Absolutely. So has this journey with chemo, cancer, has it changed or shifted your perspective on life or time? Definitely, absolutely. You gotta live your life. I say live your life to the fullest because you just never know where, something can, kind of halt you living your best life. Like for me, I got diagnosed 4 days after my 40th birthday. And trust and believe I had so many plans to go do this, do that, but then, I had to put them all on the back burner. Like for example, I was in school. I had to put school, but, push it back um, I'm because I wasn't able to go ahead and complete the hours that I needed at a daycare or a school. I had to do 120 hours, but I know I couldn't do it because my, being immunocompromised, I wouldn't have been able to be around all those children without, jeopardizing, my health. Yeah. Yeah, and I know having to put, your plans on hold for something like this, and I mean, this is a big something because it's life threatening. So definitely, yeah, definitely. And I will say, back to something that I know, something that I guess we both have learned is patience throughout this whole process. Because, in situations like this, there's really nothing you can do. There's certain things you can do, but there's nothing you can't fix it. Right. So you gotta have patience and patience, that resilience and having people around you who exhibit that and they can bounce off you bounce off them, right? Positivity, stuff like that. So yeah, it's it's a it's a whole team thing, okay? That's right. I did it by myself. Right. Absolutely not. So what would you tell someone who's just starting chemo? You're not in it by yourself, reach out to people, talk if you need to. I'm big on utilizing your resources. Like if you have a caseworker, talk to your caseworker and your caseworker and or your medical team. They may could guide you, you know, to somewhere where you need to be. Because you may not want to go to like in person and speak to anyone about your diagnosis. They also have online where you can do it virtually. You can do it in your car, while you at home, while you cooking. I said definitely utilize them resources. Absolutely. Amen, amen. Yes. All right. What do you wish people understood better about going through treatment for cancer? That, I probably would say people respond differently to chemo. Like for instance, with my nails, see them. You may not go through that. You may go through something totally different than what I experienced. So I would, just keep that in mind.
What would you tell someone who's just starting chemo?
And then just listen. Or listen to what the doctor said. If you don't understand something, ask them to repeat it. Make sure you understand. No, go ahead. I say it already. They don't know about somebody else to come check it. So it was all okay. So, how has this journey changed the way you view your relationships? Definitely, definitely for me, who's really in the corner when you're going through something, like this. I have some people that reach out all the time, which I'm grateful. You don't have to reach out, all the time. I know people have life outside of me. But then some people, they just let go for you're like, oh, I'm gonna check on you, and then they don't check on they check back on me, which I'm not mad about, but that just showed me their true feelings. Right. Is there anyone or anything that has shown up for you in a way that you didn't expect, or did everything kind of go the way you thought it would? Okay, so for me, I probably would say not that I didn't expect my mom and my parents to be here, but I guess just, especially for my mom, she got a with emotional, and even my dad, my sister too. I mean, George, mainly my two big sisters. My little sister, I don't know if she cried or, but she do call me, check on me to make sure I'm okay. But just to see them emotional, it was kind of like a little sad for me. And I didn't want them to cry about it because I'm like, you know, not saying that they shouldn't show their emotions. I just don't like to see people crying. Right. Even though it is because this is serious. And it really is. If I didn't stay on top of it, maybe I would have to, diagnose later down the line because I didn't have the like, typical symptom of breast cancer. I could just have the inflammation and I didn't have no draining. No, I didn't have none of that stuff. I just had the, breasts felt extra, heavy. But that was from the inflammation, and I did feel like a little tiny lump, but it was like I didn't feel it all the time. But I was checking myself, so that was kind of like for me. Like, why is it here? Why did the next day it's done? Right. Yeah. All right. Is there anything you wish your loved ones did more or less of? They're doing everything they need to do. I got one for the possibility. All right. So, what are you looking forward to when chemo is done? Sure. Definitely eating. Yeah. Really eating. Yeah. I don't even want to eat. And eat, like when my taste buds to go back to, my nose here, I want them to go back because I don't know if this is gonna be a part of the video, but while I'm recording the video, my nose just stopped running out of the blue. It is only one nostril, and that bothers me. It really does. With it, just talking, it just start just flowing down. I have to keep like tissues or something with me at all times because I never know when my nose is just going to start leaking. Right, right. So I want to get back normal so where I don't have to go through that. But I'll take it. I'll take it any day over the other side effects. Right. So I try not to complain about it. But if I did have to choose, that would be one of the things that I would like to go back to normal. Right. Right. Well, that's a good goal to get back to, and it's gonna be a new normal, not the same as before, but it'll be a new normal. So do you feel like you started thinking about what healing looks like after treatment? Oh, yeah, healing, definitely eating better, just exercising, just doing better as a whole because, I don't want to have to go through this again. And I know you have to change your eating habits. You gotta, exercise is good. And I do want to get more healthier and start eating, the things that I don't really need Also, just focus on the, I mean, not need more. Also, I want to focus on things that I need instead of the things things I want. Right. Because it doesn't make sense for me to put all those, things on my body and then you just, like they say, like for me, with my breast cancer, when I did the genetic test, it didn't show any genetic mutation, but yet I still, got breast cancer. You don't know where it came from. It could have been from the food, could have been from something I knew, like we don't know. Like I do want to focus on having a cleaner diet and also the things that we use, like detergent, your soaps, what you bathe with, all that stuff. Even though we were already on that path, but they still want to do that and do that. Right, right. Yeah, I mean it's a good time. Yes. So what does celebration look like for you after this phase? So after chemo is over? Because we know you got surgery and radiation, but after chemo, what does celebration look like? Well, celebration for the chemo, I'm gonna ring the bell for sure. Absolutely. But I don't know after that what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna do anything, because I know I still have surgery and I still have radiation. So I feel like I would be 1/3 step of the way finished. But then I know I still have those 2 things to go. So maybe a little something, like a little, never know, a little gathering. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not too sure yet. I didn't have it decide, but I definitely, keep you guys posted on the celebration. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but once this phase is over, this is the longest phase. It is. So, this phase is 4 months long. So this is the longest phase. So definitely, sure, if you want to celebrate, I'm extra. We could do it. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. So how do you want to honor the version of you that has made it through this? Because you're not the same Tamisha as when you started. You're not the same Tamisha as before you started. You're not the same Tamisha as last week. So how do you want to honor this version or the new version, the version of you that you will be once we make it through this part? I guess, for me being thankful, mm. I said definitely thankful because if I didn't have, you know, the medical staff that I had, and even my breast doctor, she was persistent and she was upfront with me honest. She was like, I don't just want to give you antibiotics to help you with what you're going through, and then it turns out to be something else. Right. And I can respect that and I appreciate that because she didn't just say, oh, let me just go send her some antibiotics and let her be on her way. There's nothing wrong, because from the imaging that they received from the hospital, it was showing it was just so many discrepancies and things that I don't know if it because maybe their technology was not as up to date as technology that they use for imaging for breast. But they had me with like so many different lumps. You just had to see. It was like it looked like it probably was about 8, when in fact it was only 3. Right. Good thing she stayed persistent and say, let me keep pushing for them to do this biopsy. Let me keep pushing. And she pushed and she pushed and she pushed. And I finally got the biopsy. And, um, that's when I found out. Even though we always surprised, we always shocked that, it turned out cancer because, none of the symptoms wasn't there. So I'm just saying, if you feel something is wrong, because nobody knows your body like that. If you feel like something is wrong, be speaking up about it. If you have a doctor, like, and they're just brushing you off, get a new doctor. That's my recommendation. Right. Get a new doctor or get a second opinion because you don't want to be to where you just, you know, say, oh, the doctor said there's nothing, and you overlook it, and it turns out to be something, and now it's spreading, or then you're gonna feel like, dang, I wish I would have, wish I would have, could have, should have, and you don't want to do that. Yeah. So I said my version of me, I was thankful for having that, all the love and support and people keeping me positive and texting me. I love it. Yes. I love it. Yeah, and I love that last point you made where you said, if you have a doctor who you feel like is brushing you off, who's not listening, but you're still feeling like something is wrong, that is what this channel is all about. It's all about advocating for yourself. It's all about pushing and asking more questions and getting the answers, And if your providers don't know, then that's fine. But okay, so where do we go to get the answers? That's what it's all about. Not being intimidated by your healthcare providers into like, well, the doctor said no. If you feel something is wrong, please continue to speak up. Because let me tell you something, okay? I will fire my mom and we will fire a doctor in a heartbeat. They would, okay? Because they definitely would. I fired a couple of dentists. I fired I think I fired a GI doctor one time. Yeah, no, because, the thing is, when I ask a question and you get offended, then you're not the person for me. Because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to learn what's going on with me. I'm trying to put all the pieces together. So if I'm asking you a question about a medicine you're prescribing me, or, I'm like, oh, hey, well, I read a study that says A, B, C, D. And they feel like you're challenging them. So yeah, there's no place for that on my care team. And there's no place for that on anybody's care team. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they get intimidated and they just like, well, okay. No, that's what this channel, that's one of the things that this channel is all about. Advocating for yourself. So don't be afraid to speak up. Yes, yes, yes. All right, Mish. So what else you have to add? Because that is it. We flew through those questions. Just, hopefully, maybe you guys, if you feel comfortable enough, share your story with us. We would love to have other people come on to the podcast and share their story. So if you feel up to it, just send us a DM, message us, and let us know. Say, hey, I want to tell our story, because you never know. You may touch someone else. You may touch someone, and then then they could pass that story along to someone else. Right. That it may touch, and then it just trickles down. Right. Because that's what we're here for. If you just help one person, we're satisfied. Right. We definitely are. We thank you guys for listening, absolutely, tuning in, subscribing, all the good stuff, and thank you for all the love and support. Absolutely. We do appreciate you. And like Tamisha said, that's what it's all about. We just want to make sure that what we know, and what Tamisha's experiencing, what I'm experiencing, we just want to make sure that we share our story, because there's a lot of things, I think, like we've said in a couple other videos, there's a lot of things that we've learned we didn't know. And, everybody hears cancer and it's a big scary word, and a lot of people feel like it's a death sentence, and it's not. It's always, sometimes it may be a little too advanced, for treatment or what have you, but it's not always the case. And yes, it's scary. Treatment is scary. The entire thing, you're unsure, you're uncertain of what's next, you're uncertain of, and I know Tamisha has said it many times, she'll feel something and be like, well, is this the chemo, or is this just my regular over 40 aches and pains, So, definitely important to share all of that, with your healthcare team. So, like Tamisha said, thank you so much for tuning in. Just our gratitude and appreciation go out to you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the love, the support on social media again. And like Tamisha said, if you want to share your story, you want to hop on here with us and do a little yapping, we're here for it. So yes, you could definitely contact us, here on YouTube or Instagram. We're on TikTok. And you can send us an email at herhealthfirstwc@gmail.com. So look forward to hearing from you. So that is it for us this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. And then we will see you next week. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Yes. We'll see you later. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Her Health First Wellness Collective. I hope today's video gave you the knowledge, inspiration, or support that you needed. If you found this helpful, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and share it with someone who could use it too. And don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a new upload. Now let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Your voice matters here. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and remember, her health comes first. See y'all soon.